clickbait thumbnail, film theory, Matt Pat! Well, someone's gotta do it! Greetings, denizens of the internet! I am Skull Common, and damn it, Matt Pat, you...
Cute talking animals, a positive message of social acceptance, crack cocaine.
You know, I will readily admit that Disney's movies do have a darker theme to them, and Zootopia itself does have racial undertones to bring up. But in this video, Matt Pat will try to make the dark theme of Zootopia a recounting of the drug conspiracy that happened in America's past. I am aware that he calls it an allegory, and I am aware of what an allegory is. However, the evidence that he uses to tie the film and the conspiracy together as an allegory...
It just raises too many questions.
Let's just dive in, shall we? Oh, and, by the by, spoilers for the film, you've been warned.
The idea of the minority group in society, the predators, facing prejudice and mistreatment from the majority is a pretty thinly veiled allusion to America's spotty history of race relations. Don't believe me? We see an ice cream parlor refuse to serve a predator.
Any reason why you're not telling us right now that it's Nick Wilde? For those who have not seen the movie, the predator that Matt Pat is talking about is Nick Wilde, a fox. And in the world of Zootopia, foxes are known to be sketchy con artists. In addition, you even say later, Matt Pat, in the video that it was Nick who was the night service, but you still neglect to say that the owner was. The owner was an elephant. Fox versus an elephant. Gee, I wonder which one's gonna win. If the owner was a smaller prey animal to the fox, then I could see your point. But considering the stereotype of foxes that I just alluded to, and that we've got a huge elephant doing this, it's not because of fear of predators, rather the stigma that foxes are considered con artists.
Police being quicker to draw weapons against predators.
Once again, you're being really ambiguous because this is the same scene, and it was Judy getting ready to draw her fox pepper spray. And considering that she saw Nick sneak his way into the ice cream parlor, she would have grounds to find it suspicious.
And even Judy hypothesizes that predators are biologically more savage than prey. Man, those are some heavy themes.
No. No, she did not make that hypothesis. She was repeating what the scientists said in a secret facility that had the predators locked up. Because she was put on the spot with a whole bunch of reporters, and she tried to answer questions on the fly. And considering that the scientist's words were still fresh in her head, she had nothing else to go off of. But hey, these are little nitpicks. It's not like Matt Pat blatantly ignores facts of the film, states outright, in order to make his comparisons to the drug conspiracy and crack. Right?
Get used to disappointment.
Time out, Matt Pat. You, the skeptical viewer, are probably shouting, Disney may go dark, but they don't go that dark. Hey, I understand your skepticism.
The most selfish, egotistical thing I've ever heard. Thank you.
Wow. That's some condescending attitude you got to your detractors there, Matt Pat.
Obviously, the movie's characters don't smoke actual crack, but Zootopia has its own substance called night howlers, and the similarities between crack and night howlers are pretty surprising. One last reminder that it's about to strike spoiler o'clock. So number 1, night howler serum and crack are both synthesized from harmless plants. Objection!
And right here the comparison doesn't work. You see, night howlers aren't harmless plants. They're shown in the movie as natural flowers that are used to repel insects and can kill said insects. We're even told that the flower in this state can induce ferocious dispositions if ingested, even by non-predator animals. Which, as you stay for the coca plant...
Similarly, if you took crack cocaine back to its most basic form, you'd probably walk right on past it without another thought. Crack, and cocaine in general, comes from the leaves of the coca plant. Raw coca is so harmless that most people make it into tea.
That is not the case with the night howler. Already the allegory is kind of failing, but I'm getting ahead of myself because there are a few more things I have to point out.
As we see in Zootopia, night howlers are flowers that grow wild on Judy's parents' carrot farm.
Nope. They weren't grown wildly on her farm. Stu Hobbs actually says he planted them there to keep the bugs away from his crops.
I use them to keep the bugs off the produce.
Nobody had any idea that they were key to some psychotropic drug until a fox tells them so.
I'm sorry, but did you even pay attention to the movie? The only thing the fox said was the flower's common name was the night howlers. It was again Stu Hobbs who said that the flowers caused berserk tendencies.
But I don't like the little ones going near them on account of what happened to your Uncle Terry.
Yeah, Terry ate one hole when we were kids and went completely nuts.
By the by, that was Gideon Gray, not Nick, who said that, by the way.
Even after they've been harvested, Judy mistakes the bulbs for onions when she stops a weasel who's stealing them to turn them into night howler serum.
Once again, I have to question if you even watched the film, because that was Chief Bobo who said they were onions.
To be fair, you did stop a master criminal from stealing 2 dozen moldy onions.
And Judy knew the scientific term and even corrected him on it. As I said, night howlers are dangerous in their original plant form, and the movie outright states this.
We get a good look at the complicated chemistry lab used to produce night howler serum by Doug the Sheep and his partners.
Curfew! Shake!
Given the variety and sophistication of equipment we see in the lab, it's reasonable to conclude that synthesizing night howler serum and crack cocaine are similar processes.
Considering that the night howlers are dangerous even in their base form, enough to turn a rabbit into a savage, and the method of introducing the chemical into the predators is to shoot them with a paintball filled with the liquefied night howler, there's more to this than just crack.
How fast you feel the effects of crack after you've smoked it, it's hard to locate an exact number, but smoking a drug is the fastest way to get it into your bloodstream outside of injecting it.
And another reason why comparing the night howlers to crack doesn't work. In the movie, the concentrated doses of the night howlers wasn't enough to take effect by simple touch. None of the victims smoked the night howler in the movie, and none of them did the drug willingly.
Some of the most official sounding people on the internet talking about crack claim that it works almost instantly. Obviously, the drugs aren't meant to be exactly the same. This is an allegory after all, but based on their effects, they might as well be.
Effect-wise, yeah, I can see that. However, pushing aside how it's introduced, it's still not done willingly, and the origin of the night howler syndrome isn't exactly safe either.
Movie, there's a big government conspiracy around the night howlers. Assistant Mayor Bellwether is the one behind the drug getting spread, developing a serum that her minions administer to predators via dart gun.
Being spread? No! No, it wasn't. The drug wasn't being spread. It was forcibly administered to a small select number of predators. At most, there were about 15 predators who were infected with the serum by being sniped by sheep. Crack, on the other hand, at least if we're going by conspiracy theories, was done by dealers and spread throughout smaller neighborhoods, which infected a whole bunch of more people. Which I think would be more than 15 if it was more than an epidemic.
She admits that she began the conspiracy to ensure that the prey majority could keep the peace by making everyone afraid of predators. As she puts it, fear always works. But it's not like in real life there was some big government conspiracy to provide African Americans with crack out of paranoia for national safety, right? Right? Well, evidence number 4. Night howlers and crack are both government conspiracies.
The moon landing was also fake. There's radio transmitter installed in the fillings of my teeth, and Elvis is still alive. Conspiracy!
This support of the Contras resulted in the CIA becoming involved with a bunch of drug smugglers. And this is 100% true. A Senate report confirmed that the drug traffickers had been provided with federal money.
He does not provide to even a link of the document in question in the description, considering that he's gotten so many facts of the film wrong and still will get more wrong as we will go through this. And since you're the sole voice in your video, MatPat, I'm not going to take your word on this, especially considering that there are countless documents concerning the Senate and drugs. You could have at least even given a screenshot of the document, or at least told us what the specific title was of the document, because that would actually help your viewers who are interested in this topic to go search for it for themselves. This document could exist, but I don't have to search for it because you're the one who's using it as a fact in your little theory. You should be the one providing it.
Quote, I believe that they felt it was more valuable to sacrifice a particular sector of America and a race of people in America in order to save the whole country. End quote. It's an idea that Mayor Lionheart echoes towards the end of Zootopia, saying that they did, quote, the wrong thing for the right reasons, end quote.
Did I falsely imprison those animals? Well, yes, I did. It was a classic doing the wrong thing for the right reason kind of a deal.
And once again, you are taking things out of context, because Mayor Lionheart wasn't referring to the Night Howler stuff, he was referring to the kidnappings that he did to prevent panic because of the predators were going feral.
Zootopia even seems like it's making references to specific instances of the crack epidemic. In the movie, Mayor Lionheart gets set up to make it look like he's behind the Night Howler scheme and gets put in jail.
Did I falsely imprison those animals? Well, yes, I did.
What did I just say? He wasn't framed for the Night Howler scheme. He was arrested for kidnapping and false imprisonment.
Only to return to power after his release.
No, he wasn't! In the credits of the movie, we can still see that he's in his cell. Hell, the wiki of the movie backs me up, and if I had clips, I sure as hell would use them to prove you wrong.
Awfully similar to Washington, D.C. Mayor Marion Barry, who was caught smoking crack, jailed, and then re-elected as mayor when he was released from prison. Stay classy, D.C.
Similar? The person you're using as evidence did the drug. Lionheart's crime was completely different, and the results were different. So bringing this up is pointless. And you know what? I can't do it. I'm done with the charade. Seriously, MatPat, you misrepresented the facts of the film just so you could twist them around to make this video so you could tie it into a conspiracy of crack. Congrats, you have just pulled the wool over millions of people's eyes. I will not deny that you could read some racial tensions in the film, but an allegory for the drug conspiracy? The amount of aerobatics just needed to justify this are so spectacular that I'm surprised you're not in gymnastics, MatPat. But considering that you scarred me for life with your Markiplier Photoshop pics, the last thing I want to see you is in tights. I'm Skullcommon, and later!